Hello and welcome to the first episode of the new Club and Country video series from Athletics Ireland. We're here in UCD where we're going to catch up with one of the stars of Irish athletics, Darragh McElhinney. Darragh McElhinney, thanks for the invitation to come to your new training environment. Must be nice to have a track that you can call home now.
Yeah, it's not too shabby in fairness. It's great to have the facility, especially like kind of wet nights in the winter, do you know what I mean? Because like the grass gets fairly dug up, so no, it's great to have in fairness, yeah.
Your athletic career, you know, for such a young guy, it's come on leaps and bounds in the last, say, 12 months in particular. But if we go all the way back, where did it all start from you and how did you get involved in athletics?
I guess it was fairly organically, to be fair. Like I kind of had my foot stuck in everything when I was younger, and then I got into athletics just through like the local club, and kind of just started going because my older brother was doing it. Slowly but surely kind of started getting better at it, and then just, to be honest, I just enjoyed like being good at it, do you know what I mean? Like that was the main thing. Like I didn't love running when I was younger or anything like that. Like I would have preferred going to other trainings and like playing other games, but just as I got older I started like getting a lot more success at like kind of under 13, 14 level or whatever, and then that kind of just made my mind up then that I kind of had to pursue it, you know what I mean? Was
there a moment or was there an event that you realised, oh hang on, I'm actually pretty good at this?
Kind of, to be fair. Well, like, yeah, like I my first time that I represented Ireland was at like a schools international race, whatever, and I ended up winning the race. It was in Santry, cross country junior, whatever, and like I kind of, at that stage I had no idea, like.
Was that your first time wearing the green vest?
Yeah. So like the fact then that I won it, I was like, oh jeez, I need to give this a proper go, like, you know what I mean? And then like it all happened very quickly after that, because that was 2015, and then like very kind of pivotal moment for me is I was in 2016 when Arthur Lanigan O'Keefe, he brought me out to the holding camp for the Rio Olympics.
Yeah.
And I went out there and I paced him for his like running workouts for the 2 weeks, and like obviously that was unreal, like, you know what I mean? Because I was only 15 as well, so like I was very young. And
so you're 15, you're out here, essentially with a training partner in the Olympic environment.
Yeah, it was crazy, like. And then I suppose at that stage I was kind of like, I saw everything that, like, you know, that like the highest level athletes do to get to that stage, and then saw the reward as well. Do you know what I mean? Where I suppose a lot of the time you wouldn't be exposed to that. So after that, then I was hooked, like. And then 3 or 4 months later, I made my first Eurocross team as a junior, and then yeah, that was it. Then, as I said earlier, it's kind of been an upward curve since then, like, thank God.
And like again, you go through that transition, you know, from Glengarriff, you make you know, you leave school, you come up to UCD, you change coaches, all that sort of stuff for a young lad can be, you know, quite overwhelming at times. Like how did you kind of grasp that, or, you know, did it take a bit of time to kind of settle in with all that new change?
I think it probably did, yeah. Like and I suppose it's kind of one of those things you don't really notice as much until afterwards, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like I had like really good coaches when I was younger, but I also had quite a lot of turnover, you know? I was being coached by a guy, Mike Harrington, when I was like kind of first to third year, and then Steve Macklin from third to fifth year, then Dave McCarthy for leaving cert, and then on to Emmett.
But it seems to have clicked, like when you look back at the last 12 months, you know, Eurocross in Dublin, then you've had a great kind of summer, Munich, the times, all these getting a bit quick and going in the right direction. Like what do you put that down to? Is it a case that you've bedded in with Emmett because you have a couple of years with him now, and you've probably, he's got to know you, you've got to know him. Like what's the driving force behind all of that?
Well, that's definitely made a huge difference. Like what you say there, just be like getting settled in with a coach and like kind of having a couple of years of the program in your legs, you know what I mean? But
yeah, like
a lot of it is luck as well, like, you know what I mean? So I haven't literally never been injured and things like that make a big difference.
So you don't believe in you make your own luck?
Well, you do and you don't, like, you know what I mean?
Last question, like you've had an awful lot of success, you know, for a young lad in a young career. What would be your standout moment?
It has to be Eurocross, really, do you know what I mean? Like, just more so because of the event and like the team aspect of it as well, because I suppose it's rare enough that in athletics when you like achieve something that you get shared with so many people.
Yeah.
Like most times it's kind of yourself and your coach, like, you know, if you like run really quick or whatever, but like on that day, like just being able to kind of win a gold medal in front of, what was it, 7,000 or 8,000.
But also a couple of busloads of people from home came up for you as well, didn't they?
Yeah, that was the thing, like, you know what I mean, you'd so much support, like, and
I have a vivid memory of you when after the race you went straight in, like hugged a load of people.
That was really special, like, you know, it was unbelievable.
Stuff of dreams, isn't it?
Yeah, that has to be the highlight. It'd be hard to be topped, but
you'll give it a go.
Yeah.
Well, Darragh, it's a pleasure to chat to you, and I appreciate the invitation to come and watch you guys train. So I know we better let you get stuck in and get a couple of reps done. Emmett, let's be honest, you've been around athletics your whole entire life. You're coaching Darragh now for a couple of years, but you would have maybe tracked him prior to coaching him. What stood out for you as a coach in regard to Darragh?
Well, I guess watching him at underage, he was, you know, every year you get one or two athletes that have the potential to go on to be that sort of once in a generation athlete, and at underage level Darragh was one of those. Not many of them make it through to senior level, but thankfully he has, and he's he's already made really good progress in the last couple of years, and hopefully he'll go on to be a superstar for us over the next couple of years as well.
Obviously he's got the quality, he's got the talent, but like from a coach perspective, what do you look for in an athlete of that calibre, or is there something like, because people always talk about the talent, but his I suppose his application to his training from a coach perspective, are those the things that you kind of look for?
You find with guys at that level who are really good and who are going to go to a high level in the sport, they've got to have unbelievable application off the track as well as on the track, and that's really important. The other thing is his determination and focus. So he's willing to do the 1%ers all of the time that I'm not saying that other people aren't willing to do, but it doesn't cost him a thought. You know, he's had a couple of injuries over the years, he's had to do some pretty tedious recovery and rehab from those sort of injuries, and he's been willing to do that, and they're the sort of 1%ers that make the difference at that level.
And we've seen him particularly over the last 12 months, when you go back to Eurocross, you know, he said himself was probably the highlight of his career. Irish soil, all the fans, people from home all up there, and he obviously performed on the day. From your perspective as a coach, what would be your kind of proudest moment to date coaching Darragh?
That was probably it. I suppose that and the European 5K in the summer in Munich. So the race didn't go exactly as we planned. I suppose when you look at the finishing list, and he finished, you know, in 16th in the end. But at the bell he was there, and he was in contention with some of the best guys in Europe. And you know, stadium is full of 60,000 people. You've got Jakob Ingebrigtsen just a couple of yards in front, the best 5K athletes on the continent there, and he was in the mix with 400 to go. And you'd like to think in a few years' time he's going to come back and build on that. So that was really exciting from a coaching perspective. But Abbottstown was special last year. Home crowd, he put in a big performance. Keelan, who trains with us here as well, was also right hot on his heels that day. He was only 10 seconds behind. So from a coaching point of view, yeah, that was a real highlight.
And I suppose the future for Darragh now, obviously off the back of a good 12 months, so many competitions coming up, from Eurocross to, you know, you got indoors, then you're back on outdoors, Worlds, Olympics, all that sort of stuff. How do you package that and plan that so you get the best out of Darragh?
So I guess we sit down every year and we look at the sort of, not just the next 12 months, but over the next 3 to 4 years, what are the major milestones that you want to hit. And the next big one for him is obviously for Paris 2024, to qualify for that. He's got competitions obviously next year in 2023, but ultimately the plan at the moment is geared towards 2024, and then we'll do a big reassessment in terms of where things go from there. But yeah, at the moment, making Olympics over 5K, that's his goal, and obviously getting his times down as well. But yeah, Paris is the big carrot at the moment. And hopefully have a few more days like we had in Abbottstown. Exactly, that'd be great. Maybe in Turin in a few weeks' time. That's it. Brilliant. Thanks, Emmett.